Great. So I welcome you once again to another question before us. Now, some students confronted me and asked me to help them solve this question. So let's all go through this question and see how we can help these students. So this is one of the questions in last year 2024 NOVDEC commerce. Yes, question. So this is a private exam. That's NOVDEC, and that was question 8. And some students are finding it so difficult to solve it. So let's see how we can try our best to help these students. Okay, so in this question, it is read as two consecutive even numbers are such that 1/3 of the smaller exceeds 1/4 of the larger by 7. We are asked to find the number. So since we are dealing with change of subject, which has a connection with this question, okay, all these are what linear equations, then we need to go through this. So first of all, the underlying word is what? Consecutive even numbers. Consecutive even numbers. Okay, yes, so we are saying two consecutive even numbers. Okay, so first of all, we need to know what even numbers are. This one is for just basic, those that we studied in what junior high school. Even in the basic school, we learned what even numbers. So we all know that when we say even numbers, we can start from so let me begin with my solution. Good. So we know that even numbers begin, we can start from 2, move on to 4, move on to 6, then we have 8, we have 10, we have 12, and we can move on. We can go. Okay, so these are even numbers. Okay, we know that these are what? Even numbers. So if you want to continue, we can continue and continue. Good. So if these are even numbers, but in this question we are saying that two consecutive even numbers. Do we even know those two consecutive even numbers we are talking about? We don't know them, even though we know that when we talk of even numbers, we can talk of 2, 4, and the rest. Okay, to infinity. All right, good. But since we don't know the particular two consecutive even numbers this question is saying, let's use some letters to represent these two consecutive even numbers. So if we are saying that this is the first even number, which is 2, if I'm to use a letter to represent the first even number, I know that you will bear me out that I can use what? Any variable. So I'm using x to represent what? My 2. Okay, good. So it means that here my x represent my first even number. Then if I move on to the next one, how do I get the next one? You realize that if you try to find the common difference, you see that to get the next one, I must what? Add 2 to the what? The previous one to get the next one. Okay, so you can see that even numbers is just what? Multiples of 2. So some people even argue that even numbers are the same as what? Multiples of 2, meaning that you need to be adding 2, 2, 2, 2. Yes. So if that's the case, then to get the other one, to get the next one, what do? I must add 2 to the previous one to get the next one. So if I want to get here, and we know that this is the previous one, so to get the next one, I will just add 2 to the previous one, which is my x, so that I will get this. Have you gotten that? Good. Now if I want to get this one as well, what do? The same thing. I will add what? 2 to this one, I already have x plus 2. So this one, I will get what? X. So this is already x plus 2. If I'm to add 2 to it again, then I'm going to get what? X plus 4. If I want to get this one as well, then it's going to be what? X plus what? If I'm adding 2 again, then I'm going to get 6. And it goes on like that. Have you gotten that? Good. So you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 are the first 4 what? Even numbers that we are talking about. So we are using these letters or these expressions to represent these even numbers. But this question what talks about 2 consecutive. So 2 consecutive, then I'm going to pick these first 2 to represent my 2 consecutive even numbers. Okay, so I will say let x and x plus 2 be my what? The 2 good. So I will let x and x plus 2 be the 2 consecutive even numbers. All right, good. Now let's check. Okay, let's continue. And then the question further says they are such that what? 1/3 of the smaller. Now we all know that if we talk of the first one, that will be what? The smallest. And then it follows like that. So if I'm dealing with only these two, then I will say that the first one, which is the smallest, is this x, and the second one, which is the larger, is what? X plus 2. Okay, yes, because I'm using only these two doesn't mean that that's the only even numbers we have. I can move on, but for the purpose of the question says only 2 consecutive, so we are dealing with only these two. If I'm talking about these two, then the first becomes my smallest and the second one becomes what? My larger. Okay, this one is larger than this. Okay, good. So if you are saying 1/3, so 1/3 1/3 of the smaller, meaning that we know that 1/3 is giving us what? 1/3 or 1 out of 3 multiplying what? X. Okay, and that gives me what? 1/3 x, like that. Okay, it also further says it exceeds what? 1/4 of the larger. So let me also write 1/4 of the larger. So for 1/4 of the larger. So if we say 1/4, then that one we are also talking about what? 1/4. So 1/4. And what is the larger? The larger is what? X plus 2. So that is what? 1/4. Okay, good. So once you have this, then we are saying that 1/3 of the smaller exceeds 1/4 of the larger. Now when we say it exceeds, okay, when we say the 1/3 the smaller exceeds, when we say exceed, it means that it is what? It is more than what? Yes, it is more than 1/4 the larger. Okay, so let's say if I have 5, if I use 5, if let's say I have 5 as a number, if I say 5 exceeds, so it means that 5 is equal to, so if I write this, let's say I have 3 here, you can see that 5 exceeds what? 3. But you know that because we have 5 here and we have 3 here, 5 cannot be what? The same as 3. Okay, so before what is here can be the same as there, what do? Then I need to add a certain number. And what number is that? I need to add 2. Okay, I need to add 2 to it before I can what? I can get the same. So if we are saying that, so in this same situation, I can say that 5 exceed 3. Okay, this 5 exceeds 3, but I've added 2 again. So I can further say that before I can get this, if I find the difference, okay, if I find the difference of 5 and 3, what will be the difference? It means that I need 2 to be added to 3. Okay, so how much can I say 5 exceeds what? 3. I can say that 5 exceeds 3 by 2. Have you gotten the point? How much does 5 exceed this what? 3. 5 exceeds 3. 5 is more than 3 by how much? 2. Okay, and that is the 2 that I have added. So let's use the same idea here. So if we are saying that 1/3 of the smaller exceeds 1/4. So here I'm using this 5 to represent my first sentence, which is what? 1/3. Yes, 1/3 of the smaller exceeds. But how much? How much does this 1/3? How much? Okay, this is what? How much that this 1/3 the smaller exceeds the larger? And it is given in the question. So we are saying that the 1/3 exceeds. So we can say that it exceeds the 1/4. Okay. Good. We are saying that 1/3. Okay. We are saying the 1/3 of the smaller exceeds 1/4. Good. So if we are saying it exceeds the 1/4, meaning that this one is greater than this, it is more than that. But how much? How much does the 1/3, the smaller, exceeds what? The 1/4, the larger? And it is given in the question as by 7. So it means that if you find the difference of this, as I use as this example, okay, it means if you find the difference of this, okay, the difference will be 7. So before here, this part and this part will be equal. Like, as I said before, this part will be equal unless I add 2. So it means that 5 exceeds 3 by 2. Okay, but when I add the 2, then I'll get the same thing. So here too, if we say that 1/3 the smaller exceeds 1/4 the larger, by how much? By 7. By 7. So it means that before I can get here and here the same, then by 7 I need to add the 7. Have you gotten the idea? Good. So once you get this, then you get what? An equation, and then finding the equation becomes what? Very, very what? Easy. So if this is what we have, then let's solve this. So this is what? Linear equation involving fraction. Okay, we did similar examples when we're looking at change of subject involving fractions, and all these are what? They all follow what? The same pattern. So if we have this, remember what I said when we're doing the change of subject. When it involves fraction, you only need to find LCM. So this one, what will be my LCM? So I told you that the LCM, you find what? The least common multiples of 3 and 4. And what is the least common multiple of 3 and 4? So if you can think about it, you realize that we are getting what? 12 as our LCM. Good. Once you get the LCM, what do? You just multiply through, okay, multiply through by the 12, which is the LCM. So I'm just going to multiply 12 by 1/3 x is equal to 12 times 1/4 x plus 2, then plus you multiply 12 through, so by 7. Okay, now we know that 12 divide 12 by 3, how many times? 4 times x, we will get 4x. So 12 by 4 gives us what? 3 times 1, so we get 3 multiplying the expression x plus 2, and then we have 12 times what? 7, and that gives us what? And this gives us what? 84. So once we have this, then let's open the bracket. So we have 4x is equal to 3 times x gives us what? 3x. 3 times 2 gives us what? 6 plus 84. Now we can group like terms. So I will write my 4 here minus 3x plus, or is equal to this plus that gives me what? 90. Okay, no, let me group like terms first. Yes, let me group like term first, so that I have this plus 6 is the same thing. Okay, so I will have x is equal to what? 90. Okay, now we have gotten one of the variables, and what is that? Remember we said the smallest. Okay, let this, so the smallest is x, so it means that our smaller even number is what? 90. Is 90. Okay, good. So how do I get the largest? Now the largest is giving us what? X plus 2. In that case, we have x as what? 90. So we are getting 90 plus 2, and that gives us what? 92. So we can conclude that therefore the numbers are 90 and 92. So we see that it is very simple. It's not difficult. Okay, so this is so those students that confronted me that you had challenges in solving this question, that is how you can go about it. So you can take your time and go through, study it carefully. Wherever you still have challenges, let me know. You can go to the comment section and add your submission. Okay, in our next video we are also going to solve another question a student also gave me, and that question is a question from Nigeria, this year 2025, their general commerce paper. So we are going to look at that one also in our next video. So please stay cool, observe everything, okay, so that I take you through those questions that those students also asked me to help them out. Okay, now this is Mazris TV. I'm your facilitator, Evans. Okay, if you have any question, you can leave a message under the comment section and I will attend to it. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.